By the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration. If you think a train will stop if it sees your car, it will a mile after it hits you. Stop. Trains can't. We're going to do the herd hierarchy. There have been so many moves. There has never been an off season with this many moves. We haven't even gotten to the draft. Okay, you've got guys like Alex Smith moving to Washington and Kirk Cousins now moving to Minnesota. Adrian Claiborne, now the Patriots have a pass rusher. Houston, Carson Wentz comes back to Philly. They've added Michael Bennett. Houston, Honey Badger, Deshaun Watson, Andrew Luck's back in Indianapolis. San Francisco's got Garoppolo for a full season and stole the Giants' very good center. The Marcus Peters, Aqib Talib, Ndamukong Suh, all to the Rams. Sammy Watkins, along with Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce, he's on now the Chiefs. I don't ever remember Seattle, multiple losses that I think affect the team. Wild year. In a minute, herd hierarchy. First, veteran newsman John Goulet.
No. Turn on the news. This is the Herd Line News.
The Cleveland Browns GM John Dorsey said yesterday that he is open to trading the first overall pick, which is a little odd. He also said the Jets have already called inquiring about the pick. Jets already moved from 6 to 3, giving up 3 second-rounders. If the Jets want the top pick, that means that there's someone they like that's not going to be there at 3.
By the way, so everybody's telling me, the Jets, they love Baker Mayfield. Okay, so if Jets made this call, then they don't love Baker Mayfield. This is a bunch of baloney. Everybody likes Darnold. Everybody's telling me, the Jets, all the reports, they like Baker Mayfield. Then why don't you just stay there? Because the Giants aren't taking the quarterback. It's a bunch of hooey. Everybody in this draft likes Darnold number 1. That's why Cleveland's getting calls, and that's why their GM's out there saying, yeah, I'd still trade the pick because he's getting calls from everybody because they all want Darnold.
Would you do it if you're the Browns? Would you trade that pick if someone made a big enough offer?
No. God, no. If you don't have the quarterback right, get the quarterback right. Darnold has no bust potential. He may not be great because of their dysfunction, but he has no bust potential.
Speaking of the Jets, their CEO, Christopher Johnson, talked about missing Kirk Cousins during free agency. Wasn't too discouraged, though. They moved up to the 3 spot, like I said. And he said their quarterback plan is, quote, shaping up as something pretty magnificent.
Oh, Jesus.
They have Josh McCown and Teddy Bridgewater, and whoever doesn't get drafted before them. Does that sound magnificent?
Well, the Jets have always done talking. The Giants actually have done winning. So this is very Jets-like. Yap, 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 yap. I don't take anything from it. They're a talking franchise. The Giants and the Patriots and the Steelers are more of a doing franchise.
There was a report out that there's 6 or 7 players that they like, which has to be a lie, because why would you trade up from 6 to 3 if you like 7 different players?
Yeah,
you would just take someone at 6.
Listen, man, all these blah, blah, blah. If John Dorsey is still getting calls, then that tells you the teams that need a quarterback all like the same guy. Nobody's going to move up for Baker. Baker's going to be available at the 3, 4, and 5, and 6 spot.
And finally, Colts owner Jim Irsay. Apparently this is the inept franchise herd line. It's Colts, Browns, and Jets. Colts owner Jim Irsay, who is generally pretty interesting when they put a microphone in front of him.
Very impulsive, yes.
He was talking about Andrew Luck's future. He said that Luck's rehab has turned the corner and that Luck has at least a decade left to play. He wants Luck to channel his inner Brett Favre this season. Here is what he said.
We feel, really optimistic that that he's turned the corner and has a full decade ahead of him of excellence. I expect him to, channel his Brett Favre, if you will, and just kind of just say the hell with it. Let's go play football. Let's go and let's go rock and roll.
Well, he's actually right. Luck's going to be fine. He's got a real GM, and now he has an offensive-minded coach, and they've got either a really good pick at 5 or multiple picks. So, listen, this is all going to work out for Andrew Luck. I know there's a lot of doubters out there. It's all lining up. It's going to work for Andrew Luck. Veteran newsman John Goulet.
Well, that's the news.
And thanks for stopping by.
The Herd Lie News.
So, you know how it works when it comes to herd hierarchy. I do it every Tuesday. I wait for Monday Night Football to be finished, then I come out and I give you, my top 10 in the league. And I take it seriously. And so when the season ends, this ends. I don't do a preseason herd hierarchy. But this year's different. Because in my life, I've been following football. I'm in my 50s, man. I've been following the NFL since I was 7 years old. I can remember the first football game I watched in 1972 on a little black and white TV. We've never had a year like this. First of all, teams didn't used to trade before Jimmy Johnson hit the league. Nobody traded. This year, you're getting elite players. Marcus Peters in their prime moving to teams. You're adding star receiver Sammy Watkins to really good football teams that already have star receivers, star backs, and star tight ends and veteran coaching staffs. So it is a completely different year. Green Bay added Jimmy Graham, but they lost Jordy Nelson. That, to me, is a little bit of a negative. I think Jordy is more valuable. Jimmy's more of a red zone guy. Jordy's more of a everywhere in the field guy. So here we go. This is our herd hierarchy.
Herd Hierarchy.
Time is now. Let's go.
The top 10 NFL teams according to college. Number 10.
You laughed last year when I said the Rams would double their win total. I think the San Francisco 49ers are going to be a top 10 team in the league. I think they have a great GM, a great coach in Kyle Shanahan. They nailed the draft last year. Virtually everybody they drafted played. They add Richard Sherman. They add a running back, Jerick McKinnon. They add an elite center, Weston Richburg, from the New York Giants, their best offensive lineman. And they've got really good draft picks. San Francisco is my Rams and my Carolina Panthers of a year ago. Great coach, great leadership, franchise quarterback. Garoppolo's never lost as a Niner 5-0. They're not ready to win the Super Bowl. I'm not sure they're ready in the NFC to win a playoff game, but they're ready to get there. San Francisco at 10.
Number 9.
Say it again, Dallas. 10 draft picks and only about one really pressing need. Safety. Now, I think they need to add a receiver. Oh, wait, they did. Alan Hearns. I think they could use an interior lineman. It's a pretty good draft for that. And counting compensatory picks, they've got 10 draft picks. Listen, Dallas is good. Just say it out loud. O-line, excellent. Pass rushers, young and talented, not that expensive. Running back, star, franchise quarterback, Hall of Fame tight end. 2 really good productive linebackers. And promising corners. I like Dallas. They have needs, but I think they're the 9th best team going into the season.
Number 8.
Hate to break it to you, but Indianapolis and Andrew Luck, they dominated it when he was healthy. He's been healthy for months. They just haven't advertised it. Now they're going to get multiple picks, 4 in the first 2 rounds. That'll be 4 starters. The new GM, Chris Ballard, has already flipped about 40% of this team. They'll be better coached. Luck is healthy. I still don't buy Tennessee as a real threat. I think Jacksonville pulls back now. I think Houston's their real threat. Indianapolis at number 8.
Number 7.
I think Houston and Indianapolis, as long as Deshaun Watson is healthy, dominate the division for a long time. They've added Honey Badger, offensive lineman Zach Fulton. J.J. Watt comes back. We also know Deshaun Watson, in his brief stint as a starting quarterback, looked transformative. Houston and Indy are going to make the AFC South a really, really good division led by 2 star quarterbacks and now 2 offensive head coaches for the next decade.
Number 6.
Pittsburgh. Listen, I don't like the way they match up all the time with New England, but offensively, 2 Pro Bowlers up front, best receiver outside of Jerry Rice and Randy Moss perhaps ever, Antonio Brown. Le'Veon Bell's a stud at running back. Juju Smith-Schuster is the next great wide receiver. I do think there are limitations. Ryan Shazier is one of those Sean Lee linebackers, Luke Kuechly, that really had influence over the middle of the field defensively, but I have Pittsburgh at 6.
Number 5.
New Orleans has a great coach, a Hall of Fame quarterback, and all sorts of young talent. The Saints shocked me and the world last year. Now they're on everybody's radar. Drew Brees, like Brady, is as good as anybody playing this game, and that includes Aaron Rodgers. I have New Orleans, fifth best team in the league, with some real inertia, a real momentum now off last year.
Number 4.
New England, they lost Nate Solder. That matters. Deion Lewis, they'll replace him at running back. They already have with Jeremy Hill. They've upgraded defense. Danny Shelton on the interior can really play. Adrian Claiborne, probably past his prime, but a good pass rusher. New England rebuilds and reloads. Julian Edelman comes back. Brady's back. Gronk's back. Stable of running backs. They'll be fine, although I don't think they're as talented as the next three rosters.
Number 3.
Minnesota. Now, eventually, because what they paid Kirk Cousins, they're going to have to shred some of these defensive players. But I like their coach. I like their defense. And Kirk Cousins, I mean, he's not Matt Ryan, he's not Drew Brees, but he can play, upgraded quarterback, and I think once again, Green Bay is going to be looking up at Minnesota, despite Aaron Rodgers, for the next couple of years.
Number 2.
Good God, do the Rams have a weakness? You do get they have the best defensive tackle in the game, and now the best pure corner in the game, and the best offensive mind in the game, and maybe the best receiving core in the game. And they're interested, by the way, in Odell Beckham, and one of the top 3 left tackles in the game, and one of the best offensive lines in the game. And they've added in Ndamukong Suh, the best kicker in the game, and the best punter in the game, and one of the best defensive coordinators in the game. Rams are stacked. They're absolutely stacked.
Number 1.
Philadelphia. They get Carson Wentz back. The culture right now is really cool. Seahawks gave away Michael Bennett. They gave him away. With that defensive line, adding Michael Bennett, yeah, I like them a lot. They also just added wide receiver Mike Wallace, a home run guy. Halati Nada on the defensive line interior. Now, they did lose Frank Reich, a good coach. Don't love that. But I think Doug Peterson, Howie Roseman, Carson Wentz, and a very, very good offensive and defensive line. They have the best combo of O-line, D-line in the NFL. Philadelphia right now, best team in the NFL. By the way, 4 of our top 5 are NFC. NFC is really Seahawks, too many losses. I don't think in the NFC you can have an offensive line that inept. I think Seattle has too many losses. Aaron Rodgers is really good, but again, I think the window's closed for Green Bay. Jordy Nelson, Jimmy Graham, to me that's a granular but a small loss for them. Coming up next, the number may shock you. I'm surprised it's that little in terms of what LeBron is doing these days. That's coming up. What if a quarterback completed 80% of his passes, or a point guard, 80% of his shots he hit him behind the arc? Wouldn't be an all-star, he'd be a legend. Beyond that, now when you're hiring, you can play at that level. 80% of employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate through their site. 80%, and in just one day. It's called matching technology, and here's how it works. One click sends your job to over 100 of the web's leading job boards, and ZipRecruiter's powerful technology learns what A, you're looking for, B, identifies the people with the experience, and then C, invites them to apply for your job. They are in the matching technology business. Large, small business, doesn't matter. It is now the smartest way in America to hire. Right now, ZipRecruiter, for free, can help you find the right candidate. All you do, the code's always heard, ZipRecruiter.com/HERD. ZipRecruiter.com/herd. ZipRecruiter, smartest way to hire.